The following is a presentation of SC State Athletics.
You are watching the Buddy Pough Show, featuring highlights of the South Carolina State Bulldogs. Our sponsors are Prisma Health, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the County of Orangeburg, working hard for you. Farm Bureau Insurance. Get a quote at farmbureaupromise.com. Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders. And by the Department of Health and Environmental Control. Healthy people living in healthy communities. And now, here's our host, the voice of the South Carolina State Bulldogs, Ernest Robinson.
Coach Buddy Pough, South Carolina State Bulldogs on the road for the third week in a row, this week in beautiful Las Cruces, New Mexico, to take on the New Mexico State Aggies. The Aggies come in tonight's game 0-3 on the season, South Carolina State 0-2, but the Bulldogs have never defeated a Division I opponent. Tonight might just be the night. Coach Pough, New Mexico State, what an opportunity for South Carolina State.
It is. It's a chance for us to get out here and win a game against a real bowl championship subdivision team. So, we got our shots, so let's see what we can do here today.
When you look at your team coming in, you got some folks on the injured side, but you get some folks back, which will make it a little bit better when you got some more weapons to throw at them.
Yeah, we get the Prince Haynes back. We kind of sort of got him back last week, but we didn't really know it. And then we get Ja'Cory Benson back, our little running back. That should help us some. So, we get some guys back. But now the main thing we've got to do is we've got to do a great job of being gap sound and playing better against the run on defense. I think these guys are trying to run the football on us. And they saw last week that Clemson had some success. They'll probably look at that plan as a way, to try to really work at us. So I think that we better really do a good job of playing good, sound defense against the run today.
Mexico State has what you call a new quarterback. Dino Maldonado is a third-string guy. They went through two quarterbacks already. He played a lot last week. What can you tell on film about him and what they'll try to do?
Well, seems to be a real sound guy. He was a walk-on for them. He was there, as a redshirt sophomore, I guess maybe 2 years ago now. And he's starting now to really blossom and be a guy that can throw it and run it. He's probably about maybe 30% quarterback run game kind of stuff. And then he throws around pretty good. And they got a couple running backs. They got a transfer from Michigan who really is a pretty good player. And then the guy that they had, the number 9 kid, we think is a good player too. So we've got to really do a good job of actually having an understanding of where they can get the football to and the kinds of things that they can do to us so that we can get their offense slowed down.
You're talking about them on defense. They're pretty active on defense as well. What do you think that you may be able to do which may surprise them?
Well, they're big, and they're in that Jolie Dunn old-fashioned 3-3-5 deal. So they got a lot of big guys, and then they got a lot of medium-sized guys, and they try to bring guys from everywhere. So we've got to be able to fit. We think that we can fit on them and block them and run the football, but we've got to mix it up because they want to get after you, and they try to really buffalo you some with the big-time blitz packages and that kind of stuff. So hopefully we can take advantage of some of that kind of stuff with some of the screen games and that kind of stuff.
Coach, it's a long trip. It's a new experience for your ball club. How do you use this as a way to prepare the team? Because, again, you don't have a whole lot of fans out here, and you're long ways from home.
What you do is you try to quiet their crowd. You try to get it to the point where, it's like church mice running around in here. So we'll feel, that we've got our, I guess, maybe applaud when they don't get theirs.
All right, Coach. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you so much.
Roberts gets the signal, and the sophomore freshman approaches. End over end kick, and this is going to be Juwan Price at about the 2. Up the right side at the 10, 15, at the 20, and knocked down at the 17-yard line. Shotgun snap, Maldonado back to pass, wants to set up a screen, does so. To Price, getting outside at the 20, Price at the 30, at the 35, makes a man miss up at the 40, pushed out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Here's your snap. Handoff inside. This is Samuels. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That is Juwan Price into the end zone for the score. So with 10 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Aggies draw first blood. Maldonado, hands off inside. This is Omari Samuels. He pushes. He gets forward. The extra point was blocked, but said it was touched by a Bulldog, and then next recovered by New Mexico State in the end zone. Play action fake. They throw it out in the flat. Caught over there and up the field. And tackle down at about inside the 35-yard line. Now the penalty marker is going to go down. Shotgun snap. Gives it to Price inside. Price makes a man miss into the end zone. Touchdown. Shotgun formation for Corey Fields. Back to pass. Fields looking long. Fields throwing. Has a man out there caught. Jalen Perry up at the 33-yard line. Shotgun snap to give it to Kendrell up the middle. Kendrell gets the first down and more down to the 5. Into the end zone for the score. South Carolina State's Kendrell Flowers. Dyson Roberts for the point after. Snaps high. Quincy gets it down. Dyson's toe is in it. It's up and it is. It says it's no good. Muller snap. Nice snap. Back to Corey. Corey throws it out there. Got a man caught. Wolverine. First down into Aggie territory. Back to pass Fields. Fields throws it out there. It's caught. Richard Bailey breaks a tackle at the 20. Bailey at the 15. 10, 5. Touchdown. Richard Bailey for South Carolina State from 37 yards out. Samuel's in the backfield with him. Play action fake. Maldonado rolling to his left. Now have Force back to his right. Throws it long. Got a man out there. Castanado. Caught. Touchdown. My goodness, what a connection. It's 36 for New Mexico State, 13 for South Carolina State. We'll have our halftime activities after these messages. We'll have more of the Buddy Pough Show after this timeout.
Your home is where your memories live, where you laugh, and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
People have the power to make a lasting impact through acts of kindness, compassion, and strength. They inspire us to innovate and educate, to do more than we ever thought possible, to help you be your healthiest you. Prisma Health, inspired by you.
In our state, team rivalries run deep.
Sometimes our fans might not always agree.
But South Carolina.
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
It's time to come together off the field.
Together, we can beat COVID-19.
Vaccines are safe and effective.
And they're our best shot at victory.
Don't wait until it's too late.
Learn how to protect yourself and your family.
At scdhec.gov/vaxfacts.
Coach, first half, one of the things that you hope would not happen is we weren't able to get them off the field at all. It looked like Clemson all over again for the first 3 possessions.
It didn't look like it was almost the exact same scenario. And it was one of those deals where we get to third downs and that kind of stuff. They didn't big play us to death, but they just kept grinding and converting third downs. And, hey, we went for the whole half almost without them punting.
Finally got into the game offensively, and I felt if we got on the board, that would make it a little interesting. And then, of course, you get the football back and you score again, but then we can't stop them. They come up with a big play. And Maldonado, doesn't talk about, but he was efficient.
I think they found themselves a quarterback. I think they're at the point now where they got a guy that can run it and throw it, and he's making all the throws, and he's putting the ball in places where his receivers can run after the catch. You know, sometimes when you throw a ball a little bit behind, a little bit ahead, they always stumbling out of it, or they got to go back to get the ball, and then they got to regain their focus that way. But this guy has hit the ball right on the target as far as being able to continue to make big yards after the play, and that kind of stuck out in our play against him. But you know what? Corey Fields showed himself to be a good player tonight, too, and he stuck some balls in some places. Sometimes some of those windows were tighter than I was thinking that he could get them into, but he did. So, you know, we've got our work cut out for us, too, to make sure that we do a good job of continuing to get him, you know, some opportunities.
Corey Fields had a magnificent day, 30 of 47, 4 touchdown passes on the day, but of course we couldn't really get going until the second half. And Coach, in that first half, what was it like from the standpoint of not allowing the team to sort of get out of focus? Because we could have really packed it in the first half.
Yeah, well, I think we've got to figure out a way to get out of the mindset of the fact that we got to be a running football team. I think we can run the football, and we did some, but I think we've got to lean on Corey to be, the guy that kind of makes the run game open up that way. So we got to throw it around a little bit better. And, if we can get all our receivers back in one piece, because we got a bunch of them, but they all kind of hurt and that kind of stuff. We get Shaq Davis back and put him with Wolverine, because Wolverine has really come on, and Richard Bailey's done good. And we got something out of Moody, tonight. And Hezzy Massey, those guys. There's a bunch of names out there, Raheem White. If we could get all those guys to going on the same page, then we got a chance to actually really do something special with Corey Fields and that receiving core and this offense in general.
You start talking about South Carolina State getting down in the first half, 36-13, Coach, but then your offensive line gets banged up. But these guys, you had a kid come in at center, and you think, oh my goodness, could it get any worse? It didn't do too bad.
The worst case scenario, I mean, we could not afford to lose Eric Brown. And Eric Brown is a freshman from Hartsville, South Carolina. Great young man. And he comes off the field and says, oh, my ankle. I say, oh, my Lord, what in the world we going to do? So then we end up putting Chandler Muller in there, who's really done a nice job of kind of filling in and being our second guy. And then he gets banged up a little bit, and then we move Dallas forward to center. So it was musical chairs at center for a while. But you know what? Those guys eventually got it going, and Corey began to kind of hit some, some balls in the, in the passing game. And the next thing we knew, we were in the end zone a couple times. And if Dyson Roberts missed the first. I gave him too much credit. I said, Dyson, I jinxed you. I said, I talked too good about you. I need to call you some bad names so you can make everything again.
So he did, and he punted well. Yeah. And the way the first half ended, South Carolina State knew we were going to get the football to start the second half. I know you were already thinking about that. And then we give up a big play on defense, one strike, and a big play and a touchdown.
Exactly.
And we're down a bunch.
Exactly. They've got the best of us in the turnover game for sure. And I think we had 3 picks, and I don't know if they had any turnovers at all that I can think of now. They eventually got to the point where in the second half we made them punt some, but there for a while it was all our turnovers and all their conversions. So eventually we got to the point that we did get them slowed down.
It was a forgettable first half for South Carolina State. We're going to take a time out here on the Buddy Pough Show. We'll come back with more South Carolina State and New Mexico State from Las Cruces, New Mexico on this edition of the Buddy Pough Show.
At Founders Federal Credit Union, we know success is a team effort. We're always cheering for you, side by side, so you can dream big and achieve your goals. Offering products and services that put you in the lead, whether that's helping you buy a car, build your savings, or supporting your community. We're here with the financial support you need. That's teamwork. Score big with Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders.
Since 2002, the lottery has helped award more than 1 million scholarships. So when you play, you're not just taking a chance. You're also giving one.
Bulldogs had him just in, but didn't snap the football off sides. They get back. Fields throws it out there. Got him in. It is intercepted by New Mexico State at the 50. It was tapped up 45. Back up the field. Breaking tackles at the 40. At the 35. Shotgun snap Maldonado. Back to pass. Maldonado throws touchdown. Shotgun formation for Corey. Back to pass. Looking slant, now going long. Got a man, Raheem White. At the 25, stumbles and falls at the 20-yard line. Massey and Bailey to the left. Back to pass. Corey Fields. Fields throws it back across the middle. It's caught. Kendrell Flowers runs away from the first down. Broke a tackle.
Whoa.
Still got the first down. Down at the 8-yard line. Kendrell Flowers with the effort. Corey Fields rolling that way. Fields rolling. Got to let it go. Throws in the end zone. Touchdown, South Carolina State. Zeke Massey gets his first touchdown in his career. Back to pass. Corey looking, throwing for the end zone. Caught, I think, touchdown.
That was the
Wolverine.
touchdown.
New Mexico State 43, South Carolina State 27. Shotgun snap, Corey back to pass. Corey looking over the middle. Corey got a man. Wolverine catches it at the 30, still on his feet at the 35, at the 40. Makes a stiff arm move up at the 45-yard line. Fields back to pass. Fields looking at the end zone. Look left, throwing right into the middle. Kendrell Flowers has it. Spin move at the 10. Flowers at the 5. Flowers touchdown! Kendrell Flowers made 3 men miss in the end zone. Play action fake. Fields rolling to his right. Throws it open. Touchdown!
You got it.
Washington. Fields. 1:05 to go. Back to pass. Corey. Corey looking long. Has man out there. And it's intercepted. Wow. It went right through a couple folks' hands. They go down at the 15-yard line. New Mexico State holds off South Carolina State 43-35. All right, it is the Prisma Health injury report here on the Buddy Pough Show, and it's not one that we like because, of course, these are guys who either had to play injured or did not play at all, Coach. And, you know, we got a good football team, but not good enough that we can't be fully manned.
And we're starting to lose some guys, a couple guys for the season. We've lost Alex James, now running back from over at Florence, who I really was excited about. And that looked like that's going to be it for him for the season, maybe even for the career. And then Jalen Page, also from Florence, has got the same kind of deal. Jalen has got a back injury, and looks like that we're going to try to see if we can maybe get both those guys to do a little coaching or something of that nature. And then Shaq Davis was out. You know, he didn't play. He didn't even make the trip this weekend. You know, we've got to figure out a way to get him back on the field. But if we can get him back, then we think we can really put together a good receiving core now. Eric Brown got banged up a little bit, and Chandler Mother got banged up a little bit, and I think Dallas Ford got hurt a little bit too. So we had some guys to get banged up, but you know, most of those guys, you know, found their way back onto the field. Hopefully, we can get these guys with the break that we're gonna have next week back to full health by the time we go back and play at home against Bethune-Cookman.
All right, that is the Prisma Health injury report for the South Carolina State-New Mexico State game. Going to take another time out here on the Buddy Pough Show. We'll come back and talk about Saturday's exciting second half, the Bulldogs and Aggies at Las Cruces, New Mexico. Back with more after this timeout.
Your home is where your memories live, where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
People have the power to make a lasting impact through acts of kindness, compassion, and strength. They inspire us to innovate and educate, to do more than we ever thought possible, to help you be your healthiest you. Prisma Health, inspired by you.
In our state, team rivalries run deep.
Sometimes our fans might not always agree.
But South Carolina.
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
It's time to come together off the field.
Together, we can beat COVID-19.
Vaccines are safe and effective.
And they're our best shot at victory.
Don't wait until it's too late.
Learn how to protect yourself and your family.
At scdhec.gov/vaxfacts.
All right, welcome back to the Buddy Pough Show. South Carolina State in the second half, Coach. Bill and I talked about the team. You know, I'm always talking about who's coming out in the second half. You kept them in a long time at halftime, and we figured you had something to say because it was a different team in the second half.
Well, all I asked them to do was win the second half. I said, we'll figure out the score after the fact. I said, so let's make sure that we don't go out and not take advantage of the opportunity to get better. So that was all I asked them to do, and at that point, you know, we went on about the task of seeing if we can make that happen.
Bulldogs got down, folks, in this football game, 43-13, Coach. and you cut it to 8 eventually and get an opportunity to get the football twice and perhaps tie this football game with a 2-point conversion because you got a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about that because you want to see a grown man cry, out here in front of everybody. But we did get back in the game, and then we did have an opportunity or two to get down the field and try to score to tie the game up. I was really proud of the fact that we got that first touchdown and 2-point conversion. And I didn't fall into the trap because I wasn't going to chase points earlier. So we got to the point where, we had to either go for 2 because I was at the point they needed 2 scores to tie the game up. We were down by 16. So we got 1 and we got within 8. And, we tried to get it back down the field again. The time was not really in our favor at that point, and we had no timeouts. But at the same time, I was really proud of the fact that our guys hung in there and made it a game and actually got to the point where we could have tied it up at the end.
There were a lot of different situations in this game, Coach. We could go on and on about. Kendrell Flowers made a run at one point in the ball game. It was a 4th down play, 4th down and 8, where he looked like he was stopped on the pass, broke a couple tackles, and got the first down. And it was all second, third effort, and it was all him.
Kendrell is starting to impress me a little bit. He can run the football, but he's a skilled guy. He's a smart boy, too. So he's a guy who can, make plays for you in all kinds of different kinds of scenarios. So it didn't surprise me, but at the same time, I can tell you that I'm excited to see, what this guy can do down the road a piece because Bulldog fans, you're going to have a chance to see a good football player when he comes back to Bulldog Stadium when we play Bethune-Cookman a couple, and some more too. Hopefully with Shaq and Corey Fields and hopefully we can get BJ and some of those guys on defense. Chad Gilchrist and that crowd to make some tackles and stopping some folks because now we got to, get into the conference race here pretty soon.
All right, we got to take a time out here on the Buddy P Show. When we come back, we'll tell you what's up next for your South Carolina State Bulldogs on this edition of the Buddy P Show. All right, Coach, wrapping it up here on this edition of the Buddy Pough Show. You don't like consolation victories, but you have to be pleased with the fact that this team never gave up, and we were down a whole bunch.
Yeah, we were, and we've now been on the Around the World in 3 weeks kind of tour. I'm glad the fact that we've gotten this over with so we can go back now and kind of, adjust and adapt and deal with some of the issues that we've had, get better, develop some of the situations that, give our guys a chance to really be ready for the rest of our season. So I'm going to tell them, I'm going to say, you got to throw that game in the trash can. We played 4 games in the spring, we won 3. We played 3 games in the preseason, we lost 1. So we kind of somewhere around, 500, I don't know exactly where. We're going to go back home and see if we can, get going against Bethune-Cookman in a week or so. And at that point, then we're going to try to see if we can get into our league and try to see if we can have that, seeing that we get in the Celebration Bowl.
You take this situation, of course, it's a new season now because things change and the priorities are a lot different than they were going to those first 3 ball games.
It is. And anytime, you've got a situation like you knew what you were doing when we signed up for the, for the guaranteed games and that kind of stuff. We've now done that deal. Let's see if we can now go back and see if we can give our kids an opportunity to have some fun, win some games.
Coach, you start talking about that. How close are we to where you want this football team to be?
You know what? I'm a little bit concerned about our defensive fronts, and we're really young in the defensive front. So now I really can't beat those guys up too badly because of the fact that we're so young. But I'm gonna tell you, I think we got some good players up there. So
well, second half was a different story. We mentioned 5 of 6 in the first half. They converted third downs. They only converted 1 of 7 in the second half.
And we stopped the run some in the second half, where they were hitting us for some big runs that way. So I'm excited by the fact that we've got the opportunity to get back home and settle down and really teach. For a couple of weeks now and see if we can get ready for, the upcoming rest of the season.
All right, it's 2 weeks off for South Carolina State, or should I say a week off for South Carolina State, really 2 weeks of rest.
Exactly.
Then the Bulldogs are back in Orangeburg, Bethune-Cookman. It's Hall of Fame weekend, and Coach, it's always exciting, Hall of Fame weekend.
It's been a long time since we've been, in Bulldog Stadium with a big crowd and all that kind of stuff. I hope you come out and see this team because they're fun to watch, and we got a great group of Hall of Famers that we are inducting that Friday night prior to the game that way. So come out and see this team, guys. I'm telling you, I think you'll enjoy them.
All right, folks, we hope to see you in the Oliver C. Dawson Bulldog Stadium on Saturday, October 2nd, when the Bulldogs take on the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. It's Hall of Fame weekend. And, of course, the week following on the Buddy Pough Show on Valley Sports. Have a great week, folks.
Thank you for watching the Buddy Pough Show, featuring highlights of the South Carolina State Bulldogs. The show has been brought to you by Prisma Health, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the County of Orangeburg, Farm Bureau Insurance, Founders Federal Credit Union, and by the Department of Health and Environmental Control. Join us next week for highlights of South Carolina State football on the Buddy Pough Show.